What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke in a bit of a different area now. I've got a bit of a desk here, so I'm just gonna, keep it nice and easy. We're going to be doing the All-Australian team. We're picking my All-Australian team from the 44 that were selected. Let's get into it. So, like I said, we're going to be picking my All-Australian team. I'm not sure if it's going to be controversial or not. There are a lot of good players in the best, in the 44 that were picked. And putting them down to 22 is an insanely hard job. So I don't know how the selectors are going to do it. We know that in previous iterations of the All-Australian squad, they won't have proper wingers and they won't have proper full forwards, and they'll put bloody Brodie Grundy in the forward pocket if they have to. So I've tried to keep my All-Australian team with what I would like to see in a football team. So if this was the All-Australian team versus bloody Germany's all German Aussie rules football team, or the United States or something like that, this is the team that I would want to go in with. Again, 44 into 22 is insanely hard. I think this is the first time I've picked my All-Australian team. I think it is anyway, and it was hard. So all these selectors, and there is so many selectors on the board. I'll just rattle them off now. There's Gill, Eddie Betts, Jude Bolton, Nathan Buckley, Kane Corn, so that's why Tim Taranto isn't in there. Andrew Dillon, Glenn Jakovic, Laura Kane, Cameron Ling, and Matthew Pavlich. So just so many people, and they've got to go. They've picked the 44 from, what is there, like 1,000 players or something like that, and now they're going to pick the 22, but this is my 22. Let's stop talking and let's get straight into it. So for the fullback position, I've gone with James Sicily, Callum Wilkie, Isaac Quaynor. Now, Sicily, you have to have him in there. I know he's not generally a back pocket player. He plays off that halfback role, intercept marking, and he can provide that run. He can provide that grunt. So that's why I've got him in there, because you can't go into a game without Sicily. He's Hawthorn's main man, and even though they finished 16th, I think that Sicily has had such a great season. Callum Wilkie has played every single game for the Saints, and I think close to every single minute for St Kilda as well. And he's been instrumental as to why St Kilda are in the position that they are in. Again, intercept marking, just a great backman. Isaac Quaynor, I've got him in the back pocket. Needed a small sort of forward to get into the back pocket there. And Q, I know he plays off the half forward. He can give you that run and carry, but he is a bit of a shutdown defender when he has to be, unless he's playing on Charlie Cameron. But IQ, even if he's not picked in the All-Australian 22, to get into the 44 after the incredible season that he had says so much about just where he is. I think he was, he was in the top, wasn't he pick 13 or pick 18 or something? Definitely in the top 20 when Collingwood selected him in the with the NGA pick. So Isaac Quaynor in my back pocket, and then my halfbacks are Nick Dacos, Darcy Moore, Jack Sinclair. Can't go past Nick Dacos. What more can I say about this guy? Like, just an incredible player, instrumental with Collingwood, and like he might even win the Brownlow still, maybe. But even if he doesn't, he's missed out the last 4 or so games, and which sucks. But he's definitely got a place in the All-Australian, definitely in my All-Australian anyway, off that half-back line. Darcy Moore, best intercept, or one of the best, maybe in the top 3, I think, statistics-wise, for best intercept marking possession. Kind of like James Sicily, except, Sicily gets a bit aggro and gets a bit in your face, which I love. But Darcy Moore, that cool, level-headed guy, and he's he can run off that half-back line. He can set up a lot, take those marks, take them into their possessions as well. So, having Darcy, Callum, and James Sicily in there will really help that sort of one-on-one intercept marking role. And then Jack Sinclair, I think, is probably in the top 10 players at the moment. I don't know if that's controversial or not, but I love how Jack Sinclair goes about it. Again, off half-back, need that running, need that small sort of player. Now, my centres. I've picked 2 wings because obviously, and I think this is probably the way it's going to go. Josh Dacos on one wing, Marcus Montempelli in the middle, and then Errol Golden on the other wing. Josh Dacos, two Dacos brothers in there would create a lot of history. I think the last time that was done was Chad and Kane Corns for Port Adelaide. Marcus Bontempelli in the middle, one of the only guys that is probably going to give Dacos a run for his money in the Brownlow. And you can't go past the Bont. I don't think I picked the captain. I'll talk about a little bit about that later, but I'm probably leaning towards Bont as the captain of the All-Australian team. And Errol Goulden, he's just phenomenal for Sydney this season, especially off that wing. What did he get on the weekend? Like over 40 disposals. I think he kicked 2 goals, nearly, beat Melbourne off his own sort of boot and his own work rate and stuff like that. So I love Errol on the other wing. Forward line was a little bit easier to pick. I've got Zach Butters, Nick Larkey, Taylor Walker. Larkey and Walker over 70 goals each. Larkey, for a team that's on the bottom of the ladder, for Larkey to do what he's done, 9 goals against Gold Coast just recently on the weekend, I'd love him. I'd love him in at the Pies, 100%. He is an incredible player. Taylor Walker as well, was leading, or not leading, sorry. Oh no, he was. He was leading the Coleman by a goal after another 9-goal performance on the weekend against West Coast. And then obviously Charlie Kerner came over the top and kicked 2. But Zach Butters, I got him in the half forward line. I know sometimes, he plays mainly in the middle and stuff like that, but you can't really go past Butters. I think he might win the Coaches Association votes as well. Maybe could challenge for the Brownlow, but with Port Adelaide going as well as they are, Zach Butters is one of the reasons why they're going as well as they are. The full forwards, Toby Green, Charlie Curnow, Charlie Cameron. Green and Cameron as forward pockets, I love Green. I think I've got him as top 3 best players in the competition right now. I love Toby Green, and I love that we're going to be seeing him in finals. Hopefully it's not against the Pies, but I love everything that's got to do with Green. Like if he was playing for a Victorian club, he'd be as a Hall of Famer straight away. Like all these guys I would love at Collingwood, obviously, but Toby Green more so. Charlie Cameron in the other pocket. Charlie Cameron does everything right. Just a very, 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 very good forward, and we saw that firsthand when he went up against Q. And I said that a little bit earlier. I think he kicked 4 goals in the 6 or so games that Brisbane have played Collingwood. Charlie Cameron has kicked 17 goals, 1. That's just against Collingwood. So, of course, he's going to be in my All-Australian team. And then Charlie Curnow, how can you go past him? This guy, ravaged with injury earlier on. And then he has led this Carlton resurgence. And it's all on the back of him. He takes the team. And, it was Patrick Cripps last year. And for the last few years, really. And this year it's been Charlie Curnow, where it's like, okay, get on my back, I'll lead you to victory. And that's exactly what Charlie Curnow has been doing. And he's won the Coleman back-to-back as well. Of course, he's going to be in the All-Australian side. Followers, I've got Tim English in the ruck, Libba and Lachie Neale. Tim English has been the most dominant ruckman. Liberatore, I know I've got 3 Bulldogs players in there and they didn't make the finals, which, with this amount of good players in there, should have made the finals. But Libba has had his best season, especially, with everything that sort of went on with the Bulldogs this season. He has had an insanely good season. And Lachie Neale as well. If Charlie Curnow's a guy for Carlton that's saying, come on, let me get you guys to victory, Lachie Neale is that guy for Brisbane. And finally, my interchange is Jordan Dawson, Christian Petrarca, Jack Viney, and Jai Newcomb. Let's start with Jai Newcomb, mid-season draft pick. This guy, kind of like James Sicily, where, 16th on the ladder, and Newcomb, I just love everything about him, and I love that. I don't know why I'm such a big fan of Hawthorn, but, with all the dominance that they've had and stuff, but Newcomb has taken his game to a whole nother level this year. And interchange, it's not like, they're not on the field, but interchange, obviously, they can come on and off the field if this was a real team, and you can't go past Petrarca and Mavani on the interchange and Jordan Dawson. I know I'm only going with one ruck, but, I don't really know who could take the ruck, but you just go with one ruckman. You need Petrarca in the middle. Jack Viney is very much like Liberatore. They're could be one in the same sort of player, the same sort of role, but you would want both of those tough nuts in your team. A lot of players did miss out, but this is a team like, Jordan De Goey missed out. We had 5 players in All-Australian in the best 44. I've only picked 4. Jordan De Goey, I think, has had really good games, but he hasn't been consistent I think Sam Taylor as well, he could have been in there, but again, hasn't been, I think he missed 7 or 8 games or something like that. But this would be my team going, if I was to pick this team against, like in a Aussie Rules, a Footy World Cup, this would be the team that I'd be going in with. Mind you, I should have put this caveat at the start. I don't watch a lot of football that isn't Collingwood. I might watch a couple of games around, but I don't watch enough football. So this is the eye test of what I have seen when I've been watching these teams. So not really stats, a little bit stats wise, but and then just who I think has had a great season in general. But anyway, that is my All-Australian side for 2023. Let me know your thoughts down below. What changes would you make? Who would you put in? Who would you take out? Let me know down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.